To Be Continued, where your host, I'm Christian.
And I'm Caleb.
And as you can tell, we're down one today. Riley is under the weather. We were trying to get a prediction out of him. He never texted back. I believe he said the Niners would win, though. Is that what he told?
Yeah, we'll just claim him as the Niners so he can be wrong.
Okay, yeah, we'll just claim him as the Niners.
And I think he was talking about the Niners, talking a bunch of nonsense.
I mean, he also said he wasn't going to watch, so.
True.
But today we're back to the original two. Welcome, sir. Before we get into the video, just want to put a disclaimer out there. Please like, please subscribe. Lets YouTube know that we're doing good. Or even if you hate what you're seeing here, let us know what we're doing wrong. Even dislike it. I don't want to see a dislike, but if that's how you feel, it's how you feel. Just don't do nothing, please. I need a little bit of reaction. Anything's better than nothing. Anyway, as everybody knows, Sunday we have a semi-big game, the Super Bowl. Arguably the greatest game.
Also known as the Patrick Mahomes Invitational.
That's also...
Since he's been living there.
It's true. It's ridiculous.
He's going to continue living there, too.
Yeah, and the only reason I thought it might stop was Andy Reid, but did you see what Andy Reid said the other day?
Yeah, basically.
I'm not retiring.
Yeah.
So he put all that to bed, so it was like, all right, Andy Reid's staying. Anyway, Caleb, I'll let you have the floor.
I think this is going to be a boring Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs are going to win comfortably. I think they're going to win 24-10. And I would say it'd be more of a blowout, but I still think the Chiefs could have blown out the Ravens if they wanted to, but they just stopped playing when they were up 10 because they knew that the Ravens just wouldn't be able to make up that difference. And I think that the Chiefs right now are in a position where you've got the most talented player in the game that is also the smartest player in the game. And so he's not out there just trying to wing it and throw his way to victory. He knows how to win. And the Chiefs know how to win. Their defense knows what they have to do to win games. Their offense knows what they have to do to win games. And you've got a combination right now. And we just talked about this the other day about how we thought we'd never see another Patriots dynasty. All the great things they did. And here we are. They've basically overlapped. Yeah. Now, the Chiefs still have a little bit to go, but if Mahomes stays reasonably healthy, especially if Reid sticks around, I don't know how long he's going to want to coach, but say he coaches another 5 years, they could easily win 3 more championships.
Hey, I'll say this. Mahomes is like this now through 7 years.
Yeah.
Imagine what he's going to be like in 5 years when his experience goes up, his knowledge of the game even extends, and people are like, well, what's there more to learn? He's 7 years in. Brady got better consistently throughout the years.
And they're getting ready to be out of their cap problems.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to be in a position where they'll be able to go out and get some guys to help, maybe some guys that can actually catch the football during the regular season. They're fine in the playoffs.
I don't know if this helps your prediction. Joe Tooney's not playing Sunday. He needs a miracle to play, and Kadarius Toney is playing. So
yeah, I still say 24-10. Be fun to see Kadarius Toney go for like 3 touchdowns or something, and then the Chiefs can trade him away in the offseason and get some value.
Did you see what he said? So a reporter asked him, "Are you the best receiver in football?" And he was like, "That's a great question." And yes, I am. When they throw me the football, and I just was thinking in the back of my head, "Wow."
I wish you'd have said when I catch the football.
That would have been hilarious.
Would have been more accurate.
Yeah, because it really is a question. So you have 24-10 Chiefs.
Yeah, and I don't think the Niners are going to be able to do much. I think Brock Purdy has been large. I'm on the record as being a Brock Purdy hater. I'll claim it. I'll wear it. But I think he's largely been lucky in these playoffs. He threw a lot of balls that should have been intercepted against the Lions. Just the one ball that he threw, that the miracle Ayuk catch, hit the defender in the face mask. So if just that one play is an interception instead of a layup touchdown, then the Niners never come back and win that game.
Now I'll say this, the numbers back you on this, because so the Niners versus top 10 offenses, they only allow about 23 points per game, but then versus top 10 defenses, they average 26 points per game, which sounds great on paper. They've only played 3 games versus top 10 defenses, and one of those games was the 42-10 blowout at Dallas. And in those 3 games, Purdy's numbers...
Who was the Dallas defense coordinator, by the way?
Dan Quinn.
Oh, just want to bring it up. Where's he now? What's he doing?
Washington.
Oh, as a head coach.
Can I ask you a question?
So,
where'd the Cowboys get this year?
To the first round.
Where'd they go?
Home.
No. What round did they make it to? What round were the Commanders?
None.
We didn't make a round. We'll be happy to make the playoffs. I like Dan Quinn. Now, we'll have our rankings on the head coaching hires next week. This week, however, get back to the Super Bowl. Purdy versus top 10 defenses. In 3 games, his numbers look as the follow. 47 of 83 for 632 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 picks, and a 43.1 QBR. Now, the Dallas game's included. If I take that Dallas game out, I didn't do the completions, attempts, and yards number, but I did do the touchdowns. He only has 1 touchdown to 5 picks for his top 10 defenses.
That's if you take Dallas out?
That's if you take the Dallas game out. So it's not looking great there. Meanwhile, you have on the other side of the football, Chiefs versus top 10 offenses. They only allow 17 points per game. What makes this Chiefs team so deadly this year and scary is every other year of Mahomes' career, his side of the ball was the dominant side of the football. This year, the offense is not the reason the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl this year. That belongs to the defense. The defense has showed up in every game. Even the one game everybody thought they were crumbling in, Josh Allen had 24 points going into the fourth quarter. Josh Allen had 24 points after the fourth quarter. They looked great in that fourth quarter. Here the number even backs it up. First top 10 defenses, the Chiefs only averaged 22 points per game, but that's what they needed to do.
I'm almost a little surprised that Spagnuolo gets no attention for possible head coach. I mean, he was a disaster with the Rams, but there was not a lot of talent on that team either. They could have been okay. I believe he was there when, at the end of the Mark Bulger time, right?
Thought he was there for right after McDaniels, but I could be wrong, wasn't he? Or
no, Spagnuolo was.
He was right before Mac. He was the coach right before.
For Fisher.
Before
because they had Linehan.
Bradford. He was before Bradford got drafted. He was there 2009 to 2011. Actually, he got Bradford, so he was Bradford's first coach. Then McDaniels was his offensive coordinator under Spagnuolo. That's what I was getting.
Okay, I thought McDaniels was with Fisher for 1 year.
Actually, that might 2012 was that was Fisher's first year. I'm sorry, you're right. McDaniels was with Fisher the 1 year, and then he went back to New England.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, Spagnuolo's doing a heck of a job.
And
Kansas City is looking great, and it's weird to me that he doesn't get any attention. Maybe he just doesn't want to be.
So,
but
everybody's problem with him is he's one of these guys that seem like he's a great coordinator. He's just not fit to be the head coach.
In a couple of years where we're seeing a lot of these retreads get second opportunities. But I mean, I guess Dan Quinn has been in charge of a very good Dallas defense. He got another one.
When you look at the Dallas defense before and after he got there, that's the big thing. And then you look what he did with Atlanta.
Raheem Morris switched sides of the ball. His is a little.
And he's still young.
I think of Frank Reich, who I told you last year was a terrible hire for Carolina, and you did not want to agree with me, but I was right. So I just find it weird, that he is the one that's no one pays any attention to.
Well, I think
maybe he doesn't want to be.
I think it's a combination of both.
I'd be comfortable as can be, or maybe he's the head coach in waiting in Kansas City.
Well, he also he got the interim head coaching job when he was in. This is why. So combined record of his 4 head coaching stops, 3 years as the main head coach, and then he was the interim head coach in New York for 2017. Remember, he only won 11-41 combined in those 4 seasons. So it's
Well, those Rams teams stunk.
Yeah, but you can't go from 1-15 the first year, which was those were a horrible team. But after 1-15 to 7-9, that's great. But you can't go from 7-9 right back down to 2-14.
Is that when Bradford got hurt?
2011? Did Bradford tear his ACL in 2011?
Don't remember.
Because I thought it was 2012, and then he didn't play 2013. Then he got hurt right at the beginning of 2014. Then he was with Philly in 2015.
Because there were some lean years in there where the Rams were starting a lot of random quarterbacks. I think it would be a fun trivia game to try and name the Ram quarterbacks. I couldn't do it.
I don't even think I could do it. Hey, this is why when I look at the Rams' history, I'm like, okay, pre-McVay, post-McVay.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
completely different world.
It's crazy. 10 years ago, somebody said, "Oh yeah, the Rams are here now." You'd be like, "What?"
Yeah.
We've been to how many Super Bowls? We won a Super Bowl.
True.
With who as our quarterback? But then you look at Mahomes' numbers though. Back to the Super Bowl. You look at Mahomes' numbers versus top 10 defenses, and they're not going to flash at you, but they're winning numbers. 160 of 243, almost 1,700 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 5 picks, 28 carries for 160 yards. But here's the big number, 63 QBR. That's incredible. And you got to think, yes, you see 5 picks in 7 games, you're like, that's not great. But most of those picks were off of drops. And he's played in the playoffs 3 straight top 10 defenses. No picks.
Doesn't he have hasn't he set a record for the most playoff?
He hasn't thrown an interception since the Bengals game of the 8th, not last year, but the year prior.
Yeah.
Versus when they lost.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. He hasn't thrown a pick since Tyreek Hill was on the team.
Yeah. Pretty good.
He's incredible. And I'll say this. I think this game's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think we're finally going to get the Mahomes moment. You know how every Super Bowl he wins, we're waiting for the game-winning drive. Like last year, he had the put-away drive, but they called that holding, and it kind of took it away from him. Like, the refs kind of helped you here. Yeah. I think this year it's going to be 21-17, 2 minutes and like 30 seconds left, and everyone's like, all right, let's see what Mahomes got. Goes down the field, scores a last-second touchdown to Travis Kelce. And I think if they win this Super Bowl and Kelce scores that touchdown, I think this will be Kelce's last game. He's been kind of hinting at it.
I don't know. But I also kind of feel like this is one of those things where you're so on top of the world that it's hard to go away.
He's been confusing, though, because one moment he's like, oh, this could be the last year, and the next moment, I could be doing this for 9, 10, 11 more years. And I'm like, So what do you really... I mean, it's going to be interesting. No, I agree.
I think the question is, does he want to be known as the greatest tight end of all time or not? Right now, I think he probably could already retire and probably be thought of as the greatest receiving tight end, but there's going to be a lot of arguments that he's not the greatest tight end because he's not a good enough blocker, yada, yada, yada.
He'll never have that argument. He'll never win.
But if his receiving numbers are so far ahead of everyone else's, then he'll win the argument of this is the best tight end ever because he's played tight end and he's got wide receiver numbers.
He'll get the same argument that Jordan has on LeBron. Gronk has on him that Jordan has on LeBron. That's because of the longevity. Gronk only played 10 years. Kelsey's already in year, 11?
True. I mean, Gronk could come back next year. He's still only like 30.
They're the same age.
Yeah.
What's always going to be my thing is Gronk to me is like the Shaq of the NFL. He's the most dominant tight end I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because he dominated in every facet of the game. Kelce, he's a great receiving tight end. Now, I will say, Kelce's underrated as a blocker. He's not a horrible blocker, but he's not like George. Like George Kittle is the best all-around tight end in the game right now because he's great at receiving, but he's even more phenomenal at blocking. He just doesn't get the looks Kelce does. He also doesn't have the quarterback Kelce does. And I like Purdy, but I'm not putting Purdy in this conversation. The big thing the Chiefs have to do is stop Christian McCaffrey. Even though it's a big game, it's a Super Bowl, Shanahan's probably going to stop McCaffrey somehow.
Most likely.
Especially
if they get any kind of a lead.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to put him on ice.
Hey, last time they were up 20-10. Can Purdy do what Garoppolo couldn't? And we both say no.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they get that kind of lead. I think the Chiefs are going to lead wire to wire pretty much.
I actually have a feeling about that as well.
I just think that the Chiefs are going to show you that they've figured out a way that they can play winning football, and it doesn't have to be flashy. They don't have to beat the Rams 56-48 or lose to the Rams 50. What was that?
55
to 51 or something. It was
something crazy.
Greatest game I've ever watched. But they don't have to do that anymore. They know how to play. They know how to win. Mahomes is careful with the football. Pacheco can run the ball. And
have you seen what the NFL is doing again this year? We have this world-renowned field that we're playing on this year.
Yeah,
We've been working on it for 2 years.
Which side's going to be crying after the game?
The losing side.
49ers probably.
They've already started. The Niners are like that kid in Madden where you play them, and like before the game they already start the excuses. Oh, this controller's not what I'm used to using. Or my internet's starting to lag a little bit. Meanwhile, it's because they know they're going to lose. I mean, the Niners are already going, oh, the practice field we are on sucks. And I'll say this. Maybe the NFL could put them on a little bit better of a practice field, but you think you're the only Super Bowl team to ever be put on a crappy practice field before a game?
Yeah, I don't really see what the complaint is about that unless somebody gets hurt practicing on it. But
and it's a Super Bowl week. You're not really practicing the players all that hard. You're not trying to get them hurt.
Yeah.
So a lot of this week's walkthroughs with exception of like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen, this is why I'm mostly picking the Chiefs. Eric Bieniemy sucked in Washington. However, he is back with the Chiefs this week, and he's been back with them the last couple weeks, and they said it's been nice to have a, what's the word I'm looking for? Dominant voice back in the fold. It's going to make everybody do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to say. But I think we're going to have a decent Super Bowl. 24-21. It might, even though it's going to be that game, and it sounds like that would be an enticing score, I think it's going to be one of those boring Super Bowls. Like, I could see a scenario where the Chiefs get off to a hot start, then they fold down the stretch, and then they come right back and dominate again when they need to. And I'll say this, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm running Pacheco right at Chase Young every play.
Yeah.
Also, the Chiefs do have a big weapon back this week. Jerick McKinnon.
How long has it been since he's played?
Mid-season. Which is why Pacheco's taking off. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. A little boring, but good.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to see a Rams-Patriots rematch.
Not going to look, because nobody thought that was going to be how that Super Bowl played out.
I did.
You thought it was going to be 13-3?
Not this exact score, but
No, you thought it was going to be like horribly boring?
I thought the Rams were going to lose.
Well, I think most of us did.
And they did. But even though like the Rams were a more talented team, but that was in that part where McVay was starting to fold on Jared Goff. And Todd Gurley just wasn't Todd Gurley anymore.
Can I say this? I'm starting to get tired of the disrespect of Todd Gurley. People are putting out their top 10 lists of the top 10 running backs of the last 10 years. And Todd Gurley doesn't even get put in the top 10. I'm like, you guys forget how dominant he was. 2015 to 2018, Todd Gurley was...
Yeah, he had a couple of years where he was just the best in the game.
Like, it was fun to watch. Well, if you want to give us your score predictions, please put it in the comments. Hope you all enjoy the game. Please like, please subscribe, and until next time.
To be continued.